should have brought an extra light.
I don't have any more light.
We have your little that thing.
Oh, I do.
I think I just need to go from this side. It's all good. This side's better. Did you paint these, or did you just add a little dab of white on their heads?
Yeah, I keep them separated. I didn't have time to paint them.
That's fine. It's allowed. Well, shit. Look at all these stormtroopers.
It's basically all stormtroopers. It's just a ton of stormtroopers and a bunch of rebels. That's what's in the box.
Look at this. Jeez, Wargames. You need a table.
Yeah, you need a table. That's why I had to put wood on top of the table to make it wide enough.
Jeez. Really, eh?
Yeah.
Even your table wasn't wide enough.
Yeah, that's... I got the wood so I could play Warhammer.
Specifically for that, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. That's a lot of terrain.
Yeah.
Is this a new Wargame addiction to me, Zach?
I don't know.
Maybe this is my moment.
If I'm placing bets, Chris,
Yeah?
we're going to get halfway through this, you're not going to have any fun, you're going to ask to end. That's my assumption.
That's the bet before we begin?
That's my bet. Even if you don't ask to end, I think
I might feel it.
You're going to be like...
I'm like, alright, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But you got good music on.
I put on Star Wars music when I heard you coming up the stairs.
You.
I had to have the impact.
Well, we're with the War Man Master over
I
here.
don't know about that.
Look at this War Man Master. You want to know who knows War Games?
Well, I know one war game.
Zach knows War
Well,
Games.
I know a couple war games, but I've
Zach
learned this
knows
one in the
war
last
game.
48 hours. So
Sweet.
I'm no expert.
You're an expert.
There's like 1,000 keywords, Chris, and I only know none of them.
Well, let's get into it. Star Wars Legion, baby. But sometimes they're not. This leg's gonna go.
Speaking of legs going, who knocked the legs right out from under me in this game, Chris?
Well, I did, but that's just because your strategy is to run headlong as fast as you can into the middle of my pistol fire. And I rolled better.
Right. I think this was also a learning game, and I think like, oh, gee, we should introduce what was going on.
Yeah, so this is gonna be welcome to Room and Board. This is Zach. You know
Hi.
Zach. Zach plays a lot of Warhammer. You can see all of the stuff behind him. He's an incredible painter. He paints all the Warhammer stuff, and he's played a lot of war games. I have never played a single war game, like mini tabletop skirmish game with minis, ever in my life. And so Asmodee sent over two new core sets for Star Wars Legion. Do you want to grab the box over there,
I
Zach?
would love to. Box numero uno.
Box numero uno. They look like this. There was a lot of stuff in here, it felt like.
Yeah.
And so we got the Empire and the Rebels to face off against each other. And I said, Zach, please build them all.
Yeah.
Please teach me the game.
Yep.
And do all my work for me.
Also, let's film this video in 6 days.
Yes. Because I'm leaving for a contract. And Zach said, okay. So Zach literally built all of these armies over the last week, learned Star Wars Legion, and what was kind of exciting is that you had a box of Star Wars Legion of the previous iteration that you had picked up. Fuck. Oh, I hate
Dragon Eclipse is all over the floor now.
Oh no! Why? You have all these shells!
You made me move the chair that had all the Dragon Eclipse stuff on it, and I had to pile it on top of the box for this game that we were just mentioning. If we had thought about this clearer, I would have made things better, but I didn't think, and you didn't tell me, and we moved the chair!
We moved the chair.
Back when I was into Star Wars Armada, which is the space game.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I got this box, and I put this on my pile of shame for models to make.
Yeah.
And it got buried by other models.
Yeah, as it was on the chair.
It was not on that chair. It was in my closet. The closet is different than the chair. The chair is for the games that are being played. I had to take Dragon Eclipse off my table so I could put this on the table.
I know, and it does take up a lot of table. We'll talk about that in a second.
Anyway, so I happened to have this, and so when Chris said, build these 2 starter sets.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I have this in my closet.
Yeah.
I built this one as well.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of thoughts because they're very different box sets.
Yeah, well, and so what I wanted to do, I wanted to do this with Zach because obviously you are the expert in terms of like war games, much more than me, because you play them, you enjoy them, and then I'm going to talk about it just from my standpoint of having this and how I would never have wanted to build this, like ever,
right?
As a non-talented person.
I remember you walked into the house.
Yeah.
You looked at the table and you said, "Was this necessary?
Yeah.
Do we need this?
Do we need all this terrain that's out here?" Yeah. And now, having played, yes, we definitely did.
Yeah, yes.
You need terrain for wargames.
It's a classic thing that people say when they get into wargaming.
Yeah.
You build a first army.
Yeah.
And your second army is the table. Right.
Yeah.
Which is like very true.
Yeah.
In my case, it's like the third and the fourth army are the table.
Yeah. Yeah. So why don't you just go through, Zach, and you can sort of lead this discussion.
Because there's 2 things to talk about. There's the game, and then there is, because I think when you're getting into a wargaming of any kind, there's really sort of like 3 aspects to it. Yeah. There is the sort of hobby side where you're building, you're painting, you're modeling, you're doing bases, right? There's the other side where, this is a thing in all war games, where you sort of follow the meta. All war games, their rules change on either like an annual basis or like some games change every 3 months, some games change every year or whatever. The rules constantly update, and the meta is constantly shifting, and there's always new units coming out, which change up the whole meta. So you're like,
because it's like a collectible card game.
It's like a collectible card game. So you can be into tabletop wargaming, and a big part of your sort of experience playing the game is not necessarily playing or a hobbying. It is just sort of following the rules,
keeping up to date,
keeping up with the Joneses, but also just like, oh, this brand new unit came out. How does that change the game? Right. Oh, these units that I don't usually use might have a use, right? Just like always just sort of thinking about that, theory crafting different armies and stuff like that. Like that's a big part of being into the wargaming hobby, because it is such a production. Yeah. You're not necessarily playing it every week. No. Right? Sometimes you're playing it like once or twice a year. Yeah. And like the hobby aspect and the following the rules aspect
is the thing that sustains you.
Is what is sustaining you throughout. Right? And then the third aspect is obviously the playing of the game. Yeah. So there are those 3 aspects. Yeah. What sort of do you want to zero in on first?
I don't know. I think what's interesting just about what you said is that idea of the extending the hobby aspect, which is probably the least interesting for like regular board gaming viewers. But it makes sense to me, you being such a D&D aficionado, that's also part of it. Like you love that sort of world building, and that idea of like sitting with a book and crafting and like thinking of scenarios and seeing how these things like intermesh, right? And like the theory crafting of it all, right?
And like that really is applies. Like the lonely fun of a lot of games. Can be like really like one of the most enjoyable parts of it.
Yeah. Right? Instead of doing like a solo game, which you started getting into solo gaming,
but like you used to play Hearthstone all the time.
Oh
right?
Yeah,
and like how much of your time playing that game? I mean, it was different because it was an online game, but like how much of it was spent thinking of new decks?
None.
And
I'm a net decker.
You just net deck.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. I built all my decks.
No.
They were terrible, every single one of them, but I loved every single one.
No, I looked up like the decks in the meta, and then I did a couple tweaks. So I guess like there was a little bit, but really I was net decking and like honing and playing the game, because like that's where I think you and I differ like a lot from our styles. Yeah. Is that like the reason I like board gaming is because I like playing the game, and I don't like deck construction. I don't like.
That's super interesting.
I would be overwhelmed, like even seeing all the different armies. Yeah, I would be overwhelmed if I had too many choices to do beforehand, because I like making choices in the game versus outside.
Looking at a limited set of options and making the most optimal choice.
Exactly. I like optimizing. I like being efficient. Right.
That is super interesting. I don't know if people compare it that often, but like I always think of tabletop war games as like a collectible trading card game. It's like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. One of the like I think it's the most popular format for Magic the Gathering is draft, right? Yeah. Where people go to a store, they get a bunch of random decks or random card packs, they open them up, make a deck, and try to just see how it works. Yeah. Like draft doesn't exist for
you'd have to do it with all the minis.
You'd have to do it with all the minis. It'd be incredibly tough. But I think there's like a very similar I think sort of like I don't know, modus operandi behind a war game as a collectible card game.
Yeah.
One of the big problems with teaching war games to people is it's like handing someone a deck of Magic cards, right? The deck is like a deck of Magic cards is designed like, this is your win condition, these 3 cards. You're trying to draw these 3 cards.
Yeah.
When you get these 3 cards, you play them and you win the game. You hand a deck of Magic cards to someone who didn't build the deck and doesn't know how it works.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to play it very well. They won't necessarily understand or like it very much.
But that, I think, leads into what I did appreciate and what I liked about this is just having a core set.
Yeah.
So what we did, we had the core set, and then you mixed in a little bit from your other core set that you had.
I put everything in the other core set.
Yeah. So it was just like additional troops.
Yeah.
So we just made it bigger.
If you want to talk about it, the original core set had Vader and Luke.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers and Rebels.
Yeah.
And 2 vehicles, so Rebel vehicle and Imperial vehicle.
Yeah.
The new sets that we have here.
Yeah.
Which I've just ripped in half.
That's okay. I got this one.
This just had a bunch of Rebel troops and Luke. That had a bunch of Stormtroopers and Vader. And this also had Wookiees in it, and that had Scout Troopers in it.
There's a bunch more cards in here. Are they different versions?
They are in different languages.
Oh, okay, cool.
In every language, I assume in every language that this game comes out in.
Every language in existence.
Yeah, there are, I think, 4 more decks of cards in the box.
Okay.
But they're just repeats of the same thing. But anyway, so the original core set didn't add different units. It just added more of the units that exist.
Yeah.
The game plays at 1,000 points, usually, for a full-scale game. If we had just used these boxes, and we had used every unit and put every upgrade on those units, which might have made them a little unwieldy, they probably would have been about 600 points. Yeah. A little bit more, a little bit less. With the stuff that we were able to add...
Oh, I'm just saying impressive.
Oh, nice.
Are you guys debriefing?
We're making a video.
We're just making a video. But you're well. It's your welcome.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's freeform.
The editing happens.
Yeah.
And we make Chris do all of
it.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh right. The game was played at 1,000 points.
Yeah.
If we used everything from this box and from that box, we get about a 600-point game, 600-point army versus another 600-point army. In order to do that, you'd need to put every upgrade possible on all the units that are available in this box.
Yeah.
Which would, I think, make a little bit of analysis paralysis for new players.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. No.
Right.
But I thought 600 or like. Well,
we got to about 750, 800 with all the other units. I didn't use as many upgrades, and I just added more Stormtroopers.
I'm very glad that you didn't.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job in terms of setting it up for success, to have fun, without it being too overwhelming. There were still a lot of keywords.
Yeah.
But, like, I appreciated Star Wars Legion had that app or their website where you just go to the key.
I think that's a third party, but yeah.
Oh, it's a third party app? Yeah. Oh, that was so good. Of just every
Just looking
keyword.
up every keyword.
Yeah. Just having a list in alphabetical order. Okay, keep talking in terms of, I cut you off and I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, it's all right. My train of thought has been completely derailed.
That's all right. Okay, well, I will reframe this because I think it's now good to talk about this game.
Yeah.
Because, like, I also want to talk about it from a sense of, like, if you are getting into war games, is this a potential? Or if you're like an omni gamer like me, is this a potential for your table or to jump in?
Well, let's start with you, Chris.
Yeah.
Because you've never played a war game before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to make this as seamless as possible.
You did. You really did.
Having never played this game before myself.
Yeah.
But what's your first impression of playing tabletop wargaming or war games?
I quite enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. It played exactly how I expected it to play.
Right.
But it had an ease of play, which I really appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because you didn't throw in all the keywords,
right,
which was huge. And it is essentially move your people, chuck some dice.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's it. You can do 2 actions in a turn. You can move, you can attack, or you can help yourself attack, or you can help yourself defend. Like that's it. That's it.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. Then there's just a bunch of keywords where you can roll additional dice or like cut through things. And then the terrain here I thought was very fun to interact with and was the game.
Yeah. It's very like tabletop wargaming is about interesting sort of tactical puzzles.
Yeah.
And you don't get that without stuff on the table.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was shocked that the core box didn't come with any terrain, even though in the rulebook you said it recommends 50 to 60% of the table is filled with terrain.
Yeah.
And so what do you do if you don't have terrain? You just said add shoeboxes.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the people's when you're first getting into wargaming,
Yeah,
a lot of your first tables are the books from the shelf,
Yeah.
the board games you're not using,
Yeah.
the box that the miniatures came in.
Yeah. Steal a dice tower and put it somewhere.
Put cans of Coke out there as like whatever.
That's funny.
Right? Like a lot of the stuff I put little like stones all over this table.
Yeah, but they're just essentially squares, right? Like these are squares that you're hiding behind. So I get that.
Right. And like I think a big part of tabletop wargaming is the hobby part of it. Mm-hmm. So making a table that looks fun, making stuff look cool.
And that's where I bounce off of it because I don't care about any of that.
Right.
I'm not a painter. Mm-hmm. I am a painter. I painted everything myself. Zach has had no.
He hasn't painted
its impact.
I tried to get him to paint one time,
and it was fun painting. Yeah, it was fun, but I just would rather do anything else. But like I enjoyed doing it because I was hanging out with you.
Yeah.
But like I enjoy hanging out with you in many, many different capacities, right?
That's fair.
For like other solo stuff, I'm too busy to be able to do anything else.
Right. So to summarize, your feeling on wargaming in general was
I quite enjoyed interacting with it. Mm-hmm. I looked at the table, and it's so much, and it's so interactive and whatever, and it just boils down to move and chuck a bunch of dice.
Ho ho ho! That's a crit. A hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits and a crit.
8 hits?
8 hits and a crit.
So I roll at least 8 dice.
Okay, those are a bunch of boogies.
Bunch of misses because it's my stormtroopers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they can't defend. No, they do have no, they don't have a defend. They have a on the attack. So I got to roll 3 more dice. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's even going to matter. So it's 1 defense, so you wipe out my whole squad.
Sick. That's what I wanted from the beginning, Chris. What happened this whole game, Chris? I'll tell you what happened. Cheating on Chris's side of the board.
Yeah, who taught me how to cheat?
Hey, I had to learn 2 whole armies to teach this thing, Chris.
All right, you killed them.
Right.
And in a tactical way, but like also I had insane dice rolls in this game, and you had very poor dice rolls.
Very bad
and
ones.
That is the reason why I won. Like, there's no other sort of qualms about it.
There was an early turn where I moved 10 guys up the board, shot with all of them, hit not a single time.
Nothing.
Then he shot with his little tiny unit with
my sniper,
killed the unit.
Just like wrecked them. Yeah. And that was absolutely fun for me.
It was fun for me too.
Yeah.
Until it happened every turn.
Yeah. I was having insane dice rolls, which is like, again, part of it. Like, that's what you sign up for.
Right.
But
like a ton of playing a tabletop war game is finding a million little knobs to adjust to mitigate the luck.
Yeah. And I think probably because I haven't engaged with it in terms of all that depth to do those little mitigations.
Yeah.
And that's where like the sort of the theory crafting and like the previous stuff happens. But like it's just rolling a bunch of dice. And so like I liked it. I like rolling a bunch of dice. I think it's very fun. But I also think I don't have a table this big. Like I don't have. I don't. You don't have a table this big, and you have a big table. You have to put a wood. I have to put a table on top of the table in order for us to even play the game.
It's true,
which is insane.
Now,
and so like the amount of setup and the amount of like external parts that go into this are so enormous that I was like, yeah, this is very fun. I don't think I'm ever playing this ever again. Not because it isn't fun, but because I'm just like, oh, it just is. It's so much.
It is a lot. Now, you could play Star Wars Legion specifically.
Yeah.
You can cut it down to, I think it's 200 points.
Yeah, and then you have a smaller table.
You could use a 3x3 table, which would still take up.
I don't know. I think there's something. I think
if you're gonna do it, you gotta go.
You gotta go all in. I agree with you.
Right. I think saying, oh, I definitely want a wedding cake, 1 tier.
Yeah.
Is if you're doing it, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta you do the 7 tiers.
Yeah. 7.
Right? Put all 5 grooms and 2 brides up at the top.
Oh. I want to go to that wedding, baby.
Right?
I'll be one of the brides.
Right, yeah. Everyone's got to take a slice. Anyway. I think you gotta go whole hog if you're gonna go into wargaming. So I'm very glad that there was enough stuff in these boxes that we could do
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like I absolutely enjoyed the experience, but I think part of the experience is the epic nature of it.
Right.
Like this felt epic to
Mhm.
me. Like moving people slowly across. I mean, Darth Vader moves like one space, but he's just walking and walking. And then I ended up walking, throwing my lightsaber at people, walking, choking them out, walking, choking them out. And then I was like, oh, that's why you only move one space, because you're just like, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play this card, but I was really excited to if we moved on to the next round. It's Darth Vader in 2 units. Darth Vader gives a dodge attack. At the start of Darth Vader's next activation, each enemy trooper within 2 of him gains 3 suppression tokens.
Just no one can move.
They're so scared of him. They're so terrified of Darth Vader. And like, he's going to activate first. You're going to get 1 activation to try to kill him. And then he's like, no, everyone else. Like, that's why,
Just
that's
frozen in
also
place.
part of the reason why I would walk him in there. Because then I'm like, stop.
No one gets
No one
act.
could act.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be ridiculously scary.
Yeah, that's very cool.
But yeah, that's why you need the space for him to walk across the
Mhm.
map to actually like activate. I think the measurement movement aspect is highly calculated
Mhm.
in terms of getting the jump on people, and that's why I think like I had a slight advantage with these because I had that initial scout push.
It's,
So
I mean, it's,
especially for the scenario that we were playing, where it was like claim these points on
Mhm.
the board.
I mean, I think that's one of the things I like the most about tabletop
Mhm.
wargaming as well, is how thematic it can be.
Yeah.
Like, how much is that Vader moving really slow but doing really effective things when he's near someone?
Mm-hmm.
To like that scene from Rogue One where he's walking down the hallway and
Yeah.
everybody else around him is moving at such a higher tempo, but he's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
He's just coming,
Yeah.
right? And like that feels like that on this board game, or in this war game.
Yeah.
Going back to what I said at the beginning, right? There's 3 aspects
Uh-huh.
that I think you could get into.
Keep talking.
I'm
I'm just
going-
gonna check the camera while you're talking.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to stare into the camera.
No, keep talking.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like looking to make sure like my battery's still alive.
Mm.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Going back to those 3 things, I think the
Yeah.
first thing, I'm just going to sort of ramble about my thoughts about, because I haven't painted these guys, but I did build them all, and I did compare them to the
Mhm.
models in the old kit.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to say is
All on sprues too. Oh, I was like, Zach, I'll build them with you, and Zach was
I
like,
got a text from Chris being like, "Oh God, there's so much in this box, so many sprues.
yeah.
What are these?"
I was like, you have to glue them to the bases. Like I'm so unknowledgeable, and Zach's like, they're there.
Yeah, the most work,
I'll build them for you.
the most work Chris is used to doing when he gets into a board game is
Yeah.
to have to punch out
Punch the tokens, yeah.
And if there's too many tokens, sometimes he grumbles.
Then I quit.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, I didn't receive it.
But I have a lot of thoughts. So I built these brand new kits first.
Yeah.
And
Did you enjoy doing that?
so I built the Empire kits first.
Yeah.
And how do I organize my thoughts here?
Well, you were just texting me. You were like, they're just all stormtroopers.
Right. They are just all stormtroopers. So here, I'm going to preface this with a little bit of Warhammer talk.
Yeah, do it.
When you're building models, and I've built lots of Warhammer,
Yeah.
I've built models for Turnip, I've built models.
Made models.
I've made models.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of stuff for like I've built Gundam kits and things like that. So I
Yeah.
know lots of different model companies and kits, lots of different systems. When you get into like something like Warhammer, a lot of it is you get a sprue and it's got like a body and a bunch of options. And you
Yeah.
build all kinds of arms and legs and heads
Right.
and backpacks and different things and try to customize your unit
Yeah.
the way you want. And usually that's kind of an analysis paralysis moment
Mm.
because you also need to know the rules, right?
Right. Because
When
you're
you-
like, oh, am I holding the sword? Am I holding the gun?
Do I want him to have a sword? Do I want him to
Yeah.
have a gun?
Yeah.
Is it cooler? I think the flamethrower is really cool, but what are the rules for the rocket launcher? Can I give him the flamethrower and the rocket launcher, right? And so as you're building your armor, you're also paying a lot of attention to the rules.
Yeah.
When I opened up the Empire box, I saw these sprues and I was like, okay, good. I know how this works. And I started to like piece these things together. There is nothing left on the sprues.
Yeah.
Because there are no options.
Cool.
Okay? When you go to build the stormtroopers, for example, with the boxes mostly stormtroopers, you build all the stormtroopers. You can't control the poses. You can't move their arms. You can't move their legs. Some of them you couldn't even move their heads.
Yeah.
Right? They just went on the way that they were designed to go on. Like they all had like puzzle piece shaped sockets, so you couldn't even swap arms between the models.
Yeah.
And that felt immediately really restrictive to me
Right.
because I'm used to being able to, like, part of the fun I have about modeling is being able to like treat that as like art. Right?
Yeah.
Like I play Art Attack with the
It's gonna
things
show
I
up the
built.
camera
Yeah.
while you're talking.
And so immediately I was like, oh, this is very strange. There's no options.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed that you built a lot more stormtroopers than actually fit in a unit. And that is because for every different kind of stormtrooper you could add to a unit, like a stormtrooper with a rocket launcher, a stormtrooper with a Gatling gun, instead of you having to decide whether to put the Gatling gun on or to build the rocket launcher,
you just have a stormtrooper.
there is just a body that puts it on, right?
Cool.
So in the box right now, there's a bunch of extra stormtroopers that
we
could have been
used.
included in units, right?
Oh, I love that so much more.
Right. So
There's just a couple, but
there's just
probably
a
not.
couple, but I also was able to use some in the extra stormtroopers. But anyway,
I like that so much more.
But anyway, yeah. So I was like, oh, every unit's going to have all the options, and you just leave out the units that or the models that you're not going to use. And I was like, okay, I'm not having as much fun putting these together as like a crafting kit, but the fact that you don't need to worry about the rules is really interesting.
Cool.
I got over to this box and expected the same thing.
Yeah.
It was different. Instead, so all the Rebel troopers were the same. So you built every option for all the Rebel troopers.
Yeah.
But then I got to the Wookiees.
Yeah.
There was 6 Wookiees in this box.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out how they were supposed to go together. And I looked up the instructions, and every single one of those 6 Wookiees has 3 different build options.
Oh.
And all of those options have multiple different arms and legs and things like that, or multiple different arms and weapons.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, how do these go together? Because I was assuming that all the units were going to have all the options.
Yeah.
The Wookiees didn't have all the options. Well, you had all the options, but you can only build 3 of them of each kind. And so I was flabbergasted about how to put those together.
Let's just take pictures and do B-roll.
Yeah. I was very confused about how to put them together. And the thing I'm used to as well is when you go into the building instructions for a lot of miniature wargame miniatures, it'll have, when there are options, it'll say what the rules of the option. Oh, the flamethrower rolls these dice. The rocket launcher rolls these dice. Only one unit in this army, or this one model in this unit can have a rocket launcher. None of that information was on the Wookiee instructions. And so I was in the middle of building. I was building all of these guys at the same time. And I had to stop and go read the whole rule book for the war game.
Right.
And then still wasn't exactly sure how I should have built the Wookiees. Realized I built them in a way that was completely illegal because I built 2 of the shield guys. And a shield guy can be added to a unit of 3 Wookiees. But if I had 6 Wookiee bodies and I built 2 of the shield guys, there was no way I could make 2 units of Wookiees. And so I had to rip their arms off as if I was a Wookiee playing chess against a droid. Only it was the droid ripping the Wookiee's arms off in order to build the correct Wookiee. Anyway, like this is a lot of preamble to say, I thought there was a system. I thought there was a system, and I was
excited.
I felt a certain way about that system, and then I realized that system doesn't apply across the board,
right? And
that made the whole thing more confusing than I would have liked it to be. So that was interesting for me. The other thing that really strikes me about, and this is going to sound like I'm being really negative, but I'm nitpicking because on this first, like, you're going to spend a ton of time hobbying when you're playing a war game.
Yeah.
Right? A ton of time painting, a ton of time building. When none of the models have options, the building becomes a lot less more of a project,
a craft,
and more of a thing you have to do to get the tokens.
Yeah.
Right? The other thing that strikes me specifically about the Empire and the Rebellion, but specifically the Empire, is when you get to painting, they're all going to be white.
Right.
Right? What else? Like what else are you? What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
And when I looked at
some can be dirty white.
Some can be dirty white, and this is very important because when you look at all the other models you can get for the Empire, it's shore troopers, it's stormtroopers on a beach. It's snow troopers, it's troopers in the snow. It's mud troopers, which are troopers covered in mud. Like they're all place.
Yeah.
And the trooper that lives there.
Swamp trooper.
And so what I think a lot of the painting project is going to be, specifically with the Empire, but also with the Rebellion, is painting the environment. Right? It's going to be basing the miniatures to make them look like they're in a jungle. Or basing them to make them look like they're on a beach or in the snow or wherever else you're setting your army. And I think a big part of it is, you're painting all your stormtroopers white. You got to figure out how to weather them. What kind of pigment powders are you going to be using on them to make them look like they're in a desert, opposed to
on a beach
Right.
as opposed to in a city, as opposed to, and you're going to be building your army like, oh, I want my guys to all be snow troopers. I'm going to get a bunch of snow troopers, right?
Mm.
And so I think you're going to be building an environment more than you're building
You can
individual
get little
armies.
bits of snow, and you can glue that snow to the base.
Snow melts, Chris.
Well,
But you could get little bits of stone or grass or sand. Anyway, my point is, I think from a hobby perspective, you're going to be approaching the Star Wars Legion armies a lot more holistically. Like, what is my grand vision for the whole army? What is the whole look? And it's going to be much less about what the individual models look like. It's going to be a lot less about customizing them, because also part of the thing about Stormtroopers is they're all the same.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of their whole deal.
It's kind of their whole deal. And the other thing I was thinking as I was building the Rebels is they're going to be a hell to paint.
Oh, yeah.
Because all of them, they're wearing different layers. They have like an undershirt and a vest and then a coat. And there's like, oh, I've got a woolen knit thing and I've got a leather thing over top. And then I've got fabric pants and I've got like patent leather shoes or whatever. Like all the different materials. I think that's potentially really exciting to paint. But they're also a smaller scale miniature. They're gonna be quite. They're gonna be a challenge to paint. Right. And they're gonna take lots of work for each individual model. And that brings me to the sort of last thing I sort of brought up while we were playing, is I think that Star Wars Legion is more than it is a game about the troops and the armies and the vehicles, because there's very few. There's like 2 or 3 vehicles for each faction. Yeah. Right. It's not. It doesn't feel like a war game to me specifically because there's not like big engines of war rolling across. You can get ATST, you can get some speeders, but it's not like there's going to be a bunch of tanks or like transports or aircraft flying over the board. There might be 1 or 2 of those things, right? I think it's a game about the heroes, right? You want to get, if you look at the unit list for all the armies, there's going, like, the unit list for all the heroes that you can have as commanders is twice as long as the rest of the army list together, right? Yeah. You could have the Mandalorian and Boba Fett and Ahsoka Tano and 4 different kinds of rebel Jedis and the guy from Jedi Lost and Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and Leia and Han and R2-D2 and C-3PO. And I think a big part of this game is going to be about getting those heroes and surrounding them with enough mooks for them to kill them and shine, right? Or for those mooks to shoot them down and it to be an adventure, right? Yeah. You want Darth Vader to be walking through a field, terrorizing everyone into place and choking one guy a turn. Yeah. And I think that this is a great vehicle for that. And so I think thematically it's really exciting. I don't know if it's super exciting as a painting project, and it wasn't super satisfying as a building project.
Right. Well, let's move on to the playing aspect.
There is one, sorry, because this was all very negative. It felt negative, but I'm just being critical.
It didn't feel negative to me.
The other thing I want to say is comparing that, because then I went to build this box, and I hated this box, and it made me like all of the new stuff 1,000 times more. Okay. The models in this box were chunky. Yeah, you don't like them. I don't like them at all. They're a harder plastic.
Yeah, Zach asked me halfway through, he's like, can you tell which models are which? Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's these are the old ones because they're chunkier. And he's like, chunky's bad. I said, yes, I learned. And now I've learned.
Well, I think the models have less detail in general.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, show us new Vader versus old Vader. The old Legion versus new Legion.
Oh, okay. Where's your Vader, Chris?
Oh, he's busy choking people out.
Okay.
There we go.
See how thick his cape is?
So you prefer not a thick cape?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like that is, I think he's a much more detailed model. He's a lot chunkier.
Oh, I see.
And
see,
like
I thought Chunky was better.
Oh, really? Chunky is just, I think he's chunky because he's like a harder plastic.
Yeah. I guess you can do more and it looks more detailed and more. I see what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. And like this isn't awful or anything.
No. But I see what you're saying. Ooh, that was very, very, very slight. Ooh, painting it red? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or purple.
Huge. Grab Luke. Oh wait, he's way over there.
Yeah, but Luke died of 100 deaths.
See how he's just like better proportion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Luke, I can see the difference right away. Like his sculpt kind of sucks in the OG.
Yeah.
But like this is
like you can recognize that as Luke Skywalker, and you can't really recognize this.
Yeah.
He's having so much trouble focusing.
Yeah, just gotta put the hand in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's less clear with the stormtroopers because they're already sort of blocking armor, but it's really clear with the.
It's really clear with Luke. I even a dumb idiot like me can see it with Luke. Mm-hmm.
There's new Rebel.
Yeah.
There's older Rebel.
Yeah, just tilt them back a bit. There we go.
Like, they're not terrible, but he's more chunky and dwarfish and sort of. Like, the cloak is doing a lot of work to hide that he doesn't look very proportionate.
I see.
But this guy looks a lot better.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
I think there's also a lot more detail on his guns and stuff.
Right.
Like, we're talking, like, inches of refinement.
Yeah.
But this is,
But it is refined, and I think that's important.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to show you the
Yeah, I like that.
That was interesting. I think they're because it's a harder plastic, it's harder to work with. The other thing is all of the, for instance, this is one of the old ones, right, from the old kit. When he came, he wasn't on a sprue. His whole body, helmet included, was in a baggie, and his arms attached to the gun were in a different baggie. And then you took the guns out of that baggie, bent them open, and plugged them into the sockets.
See, as somebody lazy, that sounds better to me.
And I was doing this with like I was so angry.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, at least the other ones we play around and cut and sand, and I got to cut off the sprue bits, and I got to like do the it's kind of zen to build models.
Yeah.
And this I was just like, they look ugly. They look ugly, and they're not. This is like a baby puzzle, and they don't even look good when you put them together. Oh, the other models are so much better than these.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
But
That justifies the new version.
I think so.
Right?
I really think so. And I think a lot of the specific details in the newer sculpts, looking back at them after building the old kit, I'm like so thankful for.
Yeah.
Like even just like the little things, like this guy's little shoulder pad. Like all the leaders and all the stormtroopers have a little shoulder pad like that, and he's got it. It's got nice detail, and I got to glue this specific piece on this. That's the other thing that I think is really fun about getting into wargaming. Yeah, is you form like a relationship with each of the little guys you make. Right. Because you can do like custom things to them. Right. And you're like, I remember this guy. This is the guy who I screwed up and cut his leg too deeply, so I covered it up with a bit of cloak. And he's the guy with the sword, and he's also the guy who won me that one game that one time. And you build a relationship with the models over time. Right. I do think I wish there was more customization for them. Yeah. But I do think the newer models are a lot better. And the other thing I liked specifically about the Rebel in the new kits is there's so many alien heads, right? I was really excited, like, oh, I can choose whether I can give them human heads with helmets or give a bunch of crazy freaking alien heads to them. Yeah. And I think in the end, you would have had to use a bunch of the alien heads because there just wasn't enough heads. Yeah. But I did like that they gave you the option. Hey, do you want alien heads? Do you want normal heads? Because that was the most fun I had building because I got to decide what heads to put on everybody.
Yeah, you felt like you had some creative control.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. Right. But anyway, moving on.
Cool. No,
but I think those are all my thoughts when it comes to
that sort of hobby aspect. I think that's really interesting, right? Like that's something that I don't think about at all because I don't want to do that. But like I understand like the joy from it, and that's one thing too about when you said, because I was like, oh, this is a new war game. That's what I thought. Right. And you were like, no, Star Wars Legion has been around. And I was like, no, this is a new set. It's coming out. It's a brand new. And you're like, I have a box in my closet. And I was like, you don't. You've never had that. You've never even seen Star Wars. But that to me, like for me, then I would see this. Oh, it's just a reprint, cash grab, whatever. Right. But like to me, that seems very legitimate for a new set. I think based upon the perceived uptick in quality.
I think there's like a really big uptick in quality. Yeah. The thing, because I also looked into it a bit, because there's two other factions for this game, right? It's the prequel era, so it's the clones versus the droids. Cool. The droids specifically look like a really fun faction. Yeah. And like all of my criticisms about the rebels being kind of hard to paint and the Imperials being kind of boring, I think go out the window if we're talking about the droids.
Cool.
Because they have like 1,000 units.
Yeah.
Not 1,000 units, but they have like a bunch of different
There
units.
was one each.
No, but they have a bunch of different crazy droids, right?
Yeah.
They have giant crabs and all kinds of
cool.
like things. They've got guys in mono wheels and spiders, and because there's a bunch of like
General Grievous? Did
General Grievous.
leave?
There's like a bunch of general. There's General Grievous with 6 arms.
Nice.
There's General Grievous in a mono wheel with his
Yeah,
arms
yeah,
sticking
yeah.
out the side. But I think those are a lot more exciting looking models to me.
Mm.
And from what I've gathered, a lot of that, because it's the newer faction, right? It's a lot more in the vein of the newer models that we're seeing here. Because I think they've gone back to start to refresh the Empire and the Rebellion, who are the ones they started the game with,
Mhm.
right? And if they're bringing these older factions up towards the level of the newer factions,
Yeah.
I think that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
All right. So hobby aspect.
Hobby aspect, we're done.
That's our coverage.
we're done talking.
So that I'm interested in talking about a gameplay perspective, and
Mhm.
specifically, like, what did you like about this? You're a big Warhammer player. I think
Right.
I've titled this video "Warhammer Player Critique Star Wars Legion."
You haven't even edited this video.
I know,
yet.
but you got to start with the title. I think that's a good title. So do you think it's a good title?
I think that's a
I'd
good
click
title.
on it.
Fine.
If I was a Warhammer player or wanted to learn about Star Wars Legion, or colon. Also, if you're a board gamer, would you like it? Colon, new versus old Star Wars Legion. Colon, Chris is having fun with Zach.
Right.
Colon, please subscribe.
Do that one.
Yeah, I'll do
comment
that
and comment. Do the thing with the hype. Do the hype
Yeah.
it.
But I'm interested to hear your opinions on like the gameplay itself versus Warhammer. What did you like better? What did you not like as much? Just based upon this initial sort of diving into it, would you play more? You know, like would you develop additional armies, or
Mhm.
like would you try to find some? Where are you happy with your Warhammer? Because you've done so much Warhammer,
Right.
But so I'm interested in from like that perspective.
I think. So first off, I think I have a similar perspective on this game because it's my first time playing to you,
Mhm.
right? So I think just like you weren't able to like get into the depth of the game,
Yeah,
I haven't gotten into the depth
for
of
sure,
this game, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure there are more layers and more nuance here.
yeah.
My first impression as a Warhammer player is I like Warhammer better, and I think part of that.
I mean, I expected that to be the answer.
Right.
You're a Warhammer player. You love Warhammer. This isn't going to just eclipse it.
No. But I think part of that is comes straight down to the fact that I have a lot of familiarity,
For sure.
and also there are like I think it's 35 factions. in
So
Warhammer,
many. Yeah.
right? So every time I go to the club and play Warhammer, I can play against a different faction. I play an entire new set of rules, an entire new set of mechanics.
Yeah.
People, different factions that play so completely different from each other that the asymmetric
Cool.
parts of the game like start to really stand out.
Yeah.
In this game, it does feel like, especially because we're just using the core boxes,
Mhm.
it's a bunch of generic troops running across the board towards a bunch of generic troops,
Yeah.
shooting their blasters at each other. And so there is, on the surface level, a lot of simplicity here that hasn't grabbed my heart.
Hmm.
But there's a ton of really cool,
See, I'm the opposite. That's what I really liked about it.
cool.
Well, just because it's my first initial war game.
Right. I think
Right.
that might be like a really good point in its favor.
Yeah, like that's why. Like I haven't played Warhammer, but I found it very accessible, even though I've never played a war game before.
Mhm.
There was a lot of keywords, but not too many. But
Right.
you just look them up and then you learn them. It's
You
keywords. It's
learn them
anything.
up,
It's
yeah.
friggin' too many bones. You learn a bunch of keywords. Elder Scrolls, you learn a bunch of keywords.
I do wish
there's less keywords than Elder Scrolls.
you know,
know?
that these cards, I feel like they had room
to
for
define what
some
they were.
kind of like just simplified explanation of what they are.
Agreed.
Which I think there were on the older cards they did have more of an explanation.
Yeah.
Like not everything was described, but I do think these cards are cleaner, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But going back to this game, I do think there's lots of really clever parts to this game that make it feel like this. Star Wars Legion has a lot less downtime than Warhammer. In Warhammer, I was telling you at the beginning,
That sounds awful.
you play your entire army,
Yeah.
and then your opponent plays their entire army. It's like I go, you go.
That sounds completely awful to me.
In this game, it's a lot more active the whole time.
Yeah.
Because you're going back and forth one unit at a time.
Yeah.
so everyone's constantly active. There's lots of stuff you can do on your turn. You play dodge tokens. You can decide whether you want to spend them or not. You get different kinds of adjacency bonuses for having leaders near you and stuff like that. I thought that was all really cool, really engaging, lots of fun on the table. It was like immediately effective. Like it was immediately easy to grasp. I liked the card playing aspect of it, being able to choose orders and having that feel like it affected the game, but not in such a huge way that it like changed the whole.
Yeah, at the beginning of every round, you pick a card, and then that gives you like a special ability for the round, and it lets you choose some characters when you can activate them.
Right.
So like I could choose Darth Vader, and then anytime I could activate Darth Vader, or otherwise I've shuffled up all my other activation tokens and I flip them one at a time, and then I have to activate whichever troop I reveal.
Yeah, you shuffle up your things and you're like, I don't know which unit I'm. Oh, I have to move a scout.
I have to move a scout. I wanted to move a stormtrooper.
How do I move this scout in a way that's going to help me? I really need to act on this side of the board. I don't have scouts there.
Yeah.
I think that's a consistently interesting little puzzle.
I really like that. Yeah.
Right. I think that's a lot of fun. I do think that is far and away more engaging than the way Warhammer does.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've never played Warhammer, but God, that sounds awful. It sounds awful. Like, what are you going to do? Bring a book.
It is not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can do on your opponent's turn.
Right. Like reactions and stuff. Yeah.
And when you're playing specifically at a club or whatever, like, how long did we play this game?
Yeah, it's like 10:40 now.
You
so
got
like
here
4
at like
hours?
6:40, something like that, 6:30?
Yeah, it's like 4 hours.
About 4 hours, yeah. Like when you go to play like Warhammer at a club, people have learned their armies well enough that you can probably bang out a game in like an hour, 2 hours, right? But like you're cooking, you're rolling dice fast.
Yeah.
You already know all the rules for your army. You're not looking anything up.
Yeah.
Right? And like games can go to like 4 or 5 hours. If people don't know what's going on, right? If they're learning their new army or whatever. And so I think that the length that this game took was because we were new.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I didn't mind the length though.
Yeah, I think
I was engaged.
I was engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
I like all the scoring and objective mechanics. I thought those were a lot of fun. They're very similar to the way Warhammer does it as well.
I was more engaged in this than I think I was in Elder Scrolls. With all the keywords. Like I'm doing a keyword comparison, right?
Right.
Like in terms of upkeep and whatever.
I mean, it mattered more because the things hung, like your units stayed for the whole game, right?
Yeah, rather than just a one-off and then they die and then you gotta learn something.
Yeah. So my impression as a Warhammer player is like I still like Warhammer more, but I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And like if I had someone who wanted to play it more often, I think I would get more used to this game. I'd play it a lot more.
Yeah.
But I know that's not Chris because he told me he's never touching it again.
I was playing it again. I like the reason I say I'm never touching it again is nothing to do with the game's quality and nothing to do with actually the enjoyment that I had in the game. It's like wow, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's what it is right now. It's just like, oh my gosh, I am so appreciative that you did all the setup and the building and the learning and the this and the that. Right?
That's a big way that wargaming differs from board gaming, right?
Yeah.
I can show up to your house and like we can look at each other and be like,
let's play this.
Voidfall?
Yeah.
And like it might take a long time to set up, but like we're gonna set it up, we're gonna play it.
Yeah.
Right? With a war game, you need to sort of pick a day and
decide.
Date. You schedule it, you set up your table, right? Yeah, make sure you got everything set up for your army.
Yeah, you're texting me this morning, being like, "Okay, is it today or tomorrow?" Because like I
wanted to know.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to pull this out in 20 minutes.
100%. Yeah.
Right. I have to pull all this stuff out of my closet. I have to make sure it looks good.
Yeah.
I had to make sure our army. I had to build armies and make sure that they had the right points values and things like that.
So appreciative that you spent the whole day doing this.
Well, I didn't spend the whole day, but like that stuff all takes time.
Yeah.
And it takes less time if you're able to like plan ahead, right?
Yeah.
And so it is different fundamentally from board games in that way, right?
Yeah.
You can't just whip it out.
But that's what makes it an epic experience, right? Like this feels way more epic than Twilight Imperium ever could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like this has presence and theme. But you like it felt like an epic event, and I understand the appeal from playing this. Because I get the epic sense and the epic nature, even if the units were basic, it was really fun to like shuffle all of them across the board. And I found it really intuitive and not annoying to engage with how I expected it to be annoying.
An element of the epicness that you have not been able to experience
Yeah.
but I'm going to tell you is fantastic.
Yeah.
Is when you've painted a bunch of units that no one's ever seen before, and you are very proud of them.
Yeah.
And you think they're really cool, and you've learned all their rules, and you're like, oh yeah, and you show up and you put them on the table, and the other guy's like, whoa, I haven't seen those before, and then they put a whole army you've never seen before. They're painted beautifully on the table. You're like, whoa, and then he kills your favorite thing on turn one, and you get angry.
Yeah.
Right. I think like the investment you can get into your army or your the wargaming itself is part of it brings its own stakes along with it, right? Because it takes so much setup.
That might be the sweetest I've ever felt for you, just you telling that story, Zach.
Oh yeah,
I thought it's just delightful.
I mean,
and I get it because you invest so much time.
Imagine going to art class,
and
someone's like, I painted a surprise painting, and then the other person is like, oh wow, it looks so beautiful, man. I also have a surprise painting, and they're like, whoa, let's hit our surprise paintings against each other. Mine's better.
I think that.
Oh, make art class so much better.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that comparison. I see no flaws in that analogy. I think it's a perfect analogy.
I think so.
Yeah,
but like that's the feeling. Anyway. I like all the mechanics of this game. I think they're all very clever.
Yeah.
I think there are some things that are very classic problems in wargaming that slow down the game, that make things complicated, that make things fiddly.
Like what? I'm just doing a battery check.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You can keep talking.
Oh, I mean, like,
that's a battery. I don't even need to check it.
To do as a direct comparison, in Warhammer, when a unit gets shot, the wounds are dealt to the individual models. And so we would put dice on the table to mark this guy's got one wound left.
That sounds awful.
Right? In this game, the unit itself takes damage until it's enough damage to kill a model. And like functionally, it's very similar to how it works in Warhammer, but it's just a little simpler. Right? It's a little bit more direct and streamlined.
Everything you're telling me about this, that you're like, this is different from Warhammer, I was like, this does it better. Just like gut reaction, this is better. I
mean, I think in a lot of ways that would appeal more to a board gamer.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of the elements of wargaming, like Warhammer or like classic Napoleonic tabletop wargaming, a lot of it is heritage that's been dragged forward in time. Right. It is dragging the legacy of decades worth of the game.
Yeah.
Right. And there are aspects that are painful to cut off. Right, people have been talking about changing the way the activation set, like a whole army versus a whole army, for years. But there's 60 years worth of people who've been playing Warhammer and have always gone one after the other.
Right.
And suggesting that should change
is
it goes
heresy.
Up against it's literally a heresy.
Yeah.
It goes up against sort of a cultural convention.
Right.
Right. Now you're fighting it. You're trying to change the way a whole group of people have learned to think over decades.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's a lot of those like skin tags hanging onto Warhammer that are a little painful to snip off. This is getting a little gross. A little gross.
It's like a sprue. It's like a sprue. It works.
No, it's like a wart. It's got a wart you got to freeze off.
It's like when you show up to art class and you're just horribly disfigured because of all of your paint fumes.
And the teacher says, we're making plaster masks and covers your face.
That's the analogy.
Anyway, do you have any questions or thoughts to make things more specific? Because I'm sort of talking generalities.
I like the generalities. We're just hanging out and talking, right? Like, I would be asking you these questions off camera. But our whole friendship is based around content, so I can't.
It's true. I haven't met you without a camera being on for months.
That is true.
No.
We haven't been filming a lot. You've been on the channel so much. It was great.
Yeah.
I really, I quite enjoyed this as an experience. I think for me, I'm too. If you have a shelf of shame at all, you can't get it. But if you're interested in wargaming and you don't, and you have a big table,
now you don't like painting, Chris.
That's true.
So you know what?
What?
You only need to paint them white.
That's true.
All the stormtroopers just need to be white.
I think it's actually a very manageable baby's first war game. It feels like it
does feel
like right. And I think that's a positive, and that just deals to its sort of simplicity and streamline.
I think and this was in my negative column, but I think it also goes in the positive column.
Depends.
It's just a bunch of troops on the board, and there's no vehicles, but also that makes it so accessible,
Yeah.
right?
I do think that it does take a long time to eliminate the troops because their blasters kind of suck. And the aim doesn't really matter. You get to reroll 1 dice out of 9. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, dodge, who cares? You know? And so it really is just like, I roll a bunch of dice, roll a bunch of dice, roll a bunch of dice, roll a bunch of dice.
I think the classic thing in Wargaming is troops hold ground and get points.
Yeah.
Right? So you want a unit of troops,
Yeah.
of like basic grunt soldiers to be able to run up and stand on an objective
Yeah.
and stand there and die on it for a couple turns in order for you to score.
Right.
And then you want your other things like vehicles or big powerful characters or psychics or whatever to be able be the things that are dangerous that blasting off the board.
Right.
Right. And so then the jockeying on the board becomes, I want to get my durable point scorers onto the points.
Yeah.
And I want to lure my opponent to bring out their shooty things or their deadly things, so I can kill them with my deadly things, so they can't kill the stuff off the points.
It was very satisfying to be posted up knowing I had a rocket launcher heading your way.
Yeah,
and then just blowing your.
I should not have allowed that shot.
Yeah,
I was being too kind to you.
No, it was through. It was through. It was.
You got like the side of my wheel bearing behind a building.
Yeah, and I shot a rocket launcher at it.
You destroyed my only vehicle.
Yeah. I stand by it.
Right.
I could see half on one side, half on the other side. It was just a little pillar in the middle.
I think,
and vehicles don't get cover, as you said.
Yeah.
I would have given you cover, is what I was like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Then you'd be like, oh, then you're like, vehicles.
I mean, he was standing out in the open.
And
He
I
was
was
been
like,
fine. Anyway. But I do think that in this game, the unit roles are a little blurred, right? Because I think their thing. It is not as clear rock, paper, scissors going on here. I mean, I think it's also tougher because we basically only had 2 kinds of units each.
Yeah.
So we did only have rocks.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't necessarily have the paper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's also a negative towards a core set, especially when you spend a lot of money on it. Like, but I don't know the other variability that's in it. But it's like $120 Canadian or something for a core set.
Right.
Like that's a lot of money. And so if you're doing a 2-person game at like $240, that's a lot.
I mean, to put this into wargaming perspective.
I know
Wargames
are
that's
just
a
expensive.
damn deal. Right?
That makes me so mad.
No, like, well, put it like this way: these boxes, have about 600 points in them if you stretch it.
Yeah,
a full army is 1,000.
Yeah,
so this is about half an army.
Yeah,
this is more than half an army.
So you say 180 for a full army,
right? If you're looking at individual like boxes of units, I think I saw I looked at like the things. I think they topped out in Canadian anyway, and the shops near me. I think you get it looked like a Winnebago for the Rebels. It was like their vehicle transport.
Yeah.
It just looked like an RV. It looked like it was straight out of Spaceballs. But I think that was like $50, right? And I think the units of 10 guys plus all the options for troopers was something like 40 something, right? So you're probably looking at individual unit in up, probably spending
200 Canadian,
200 Canadian
for like a full thing, which is like 150 US, 140 US,
right? And I think, I mean, like as far as to put that in comparison, 1 second. These 3 dudes?
Yeah, what, $20?
Chris, you poor summer child.
Don't tell me.
What?
Don't tell me it's higher than that.
Keep going.
$30, $10 each.
Keep going.
35?
That was $50.
Channel over. Video over. Don't. Christmas is canceled. $50.
Right. But yeah, no, that's
But you got a bunch of different things you could use with them, right?
Right. So
I feel like Padme and
here, 1 second, I'll be right back.
In the Anakin meme right now. You gotta
1 second, I'll be right back.
You got your money's worth, right?
I think so.
You got your money's worth, right?
So I had to move this out of the way
No.
in order to get to my Star Wars Legion box to build it.
Oh my god, you're maniac. Proof he likes this. He's not acting.
But all of these are used sprues, Chris.
Yeah.
I've built units with all of them,
And you still have all their parts.
all their parts,
Well, because I remember when you just got a bunch of parts too on Facebook Marketplace.
and
You
I
were
built a whole army.
a whole
out of it.
army out of parts. Yeah.
Mhm. So like there is unseen value in all of these bits being like I could sit down and glue these bits together and probably get, I don't know, like half an army out of it, right?
I don't get it.
Oh, it's so much fun. Well, like this is like someone who's
I'm excited. I'm thrilled that like
This
there's such a difference of
Right.
opinion. Because honestly, normally you and I are like simpatico on basically everything in board games.
This is like someone who loves scrapbooking
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I bought a box of stickers,
Right.
and I'm going to have stickers for the rest of my life."
Yeah.
Right?
I get it.
I did spend $50 for
And
those
then they
3
bring it to
dudes.
art class and you hit each other with the sticker.
And it's so fun! But, you know, I did spend a lot on those 3 guys.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be, like, using bits and being
Yeah.
able to do things
Right,
with that for
right.
a long time.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I've got art projects for months.
For
right?
years.
For years.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about years.
Well, how long has Star Wars Legion been there?
It's been there. Yeah, I've had more
For
interesting things to
years.
build. Chris had more interesting things to build. I don't
That's what
know.
I mean. It's been there for years.
Anyway, so I think Star Wars Legion as a game, I think is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really engaging. I think it's
Yeah.
more engaging to Chris because it's appealing to a lot of the things that he likes as a board gamer.
Yeah.
And it is everything I'm telling him that I like better about Warhammer is
Yeah.
horrifying. him.
Yeah, it is.
Which I think is also a sign that this is specifically doing something for you that the other wouldn't.
Yeah, legit. While I think I would learn the game a little bit better if we played Warhammer, I'd be like, okay, go 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be like, okay, hold my hand while you activate and play against yourself.
Right.
And just pretend that I'm there doing it. But I really enjoyed the flow of this. It's just chuck and dice.
It's a lot of chuck and
But
dice.
who doesn't love chuck and dice? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the flow. I like moving around terrain. Found it to be an epic experience.
What did you think about? Because this is something that's specific to Legion. All these little movement devices.
I thought they were great.
And these little measuring sticks.
I thought they were great. I have always thought I hated measurement movement, and it made me not hate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it down low on your list of?
It is like there was 150, and it was like 143.
Hmm.
It's like so low on my list of mechanisms. Yeah. But like I found it very easy, and I think also because we were playing, like we played a little loosey-goosey.
We were playing pretty loosey-goosey. We were like coming into a situation where like normally I would be like, let's check the rules. And we were like, yeah, they stand there.
They go there, they move there, right? But I
Mhm.
think like that really made a big difference for me because we just were like,
We're here for fun.
it's a game of inches, literally.
Yeah.
And do we care about this being here or here? No.
This is speaking of game of inches.
Yeah.
I think wargame. I don't like football, but I think wargaming is the football of
The tabletop hobby.
a tabletop hobby,
Yeah.
right? In football, there's like they move 3 inches forward, they
Mhm.
stop, they talk, the guy comes out,
Yeah.
the people come out and dance, the guy yells at the other guy, and they're like,
Yeah.
"All right, go, move another inch. All right, stop."
And then because after every play, they do bring the dancers
Yeah, they do.
on the field.
Right, yeah, the
Yeah.
tomatoes hopping around, with Kool-Aid guys breaking through the wall and building up and breaking it again. Anyway,
Well, I guess cheerleaders, they do dance between every
they
play.
do dance
so you're
between
right.
every play. But I do think that is an aspect of wargaming.
Right.
There is a slower pace built into
Yeah.
it by design.
Yeah.
There's the feeling like, hey, you're gonna hang out and drink beer and eat
Mhm.
peanuts and talk to your friends
Yeah,
as you're
yeah.
doing
Because it's an
so
event.
It's an event.
Yeah.
But
But as an event, I
not a lot of
quite enjoyed
people.
it.
Not everybody loves football.
Yeah, that's fair.
for
Yeah.
the game, in spite of its.
Yeah. No, I really liked that aspect. I found it very accessible. I found this to be very accessible,
Mm.
which I was not surprised because that's why you were teaching me.
Mm-hmm.
But I quite enjoyed the flow of it. I love the randomization of the activations. I love going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the choices of like, oh, I'm going to target those guys because you haven't activated them yet. So then I can limit
Put a
their-
suppression token on
Exactly.
them, so
they have
maybe
a
they'll
higher-
be stunned.
Yeah.
yeah,
And so I thought that was a really cool tactical decision that was going back and forth.
yeah. I think that's very interesting.
The tactics here weren't deep,
No,
but they were still fun.
Mhm.
So
and I think
Yeah.
a lot of tabletop board games when they get into like where is the meat of the gameplay going to be?
Mhm.
It's going to be in like, do I put this guy here, or do I put this guy here,
Yeah.
or do I put him here?
Right.
Do I put him here or do I here?
Yeah.
If I put him here, how far? Okay, no, I've got
And
to
I
put
did
him
feel
here.
a little bit about that in
Right.
that specific shot, actually.
Right, there is that kind of stuff happening here, and there would have been more if we were being more mean to each other
Yeah,
about the rules. But I do like a lot of the ways that this game sidesteps that
Mhm.
in a lot of very just careful and well designed ways.
Yeah.
I do wish that more of the keywords were more clearly explained.
Yeah.
I was looking through the rule book, and there's a huge section at the back of the book about rules and keywords and things
Yeah.
like that. Every character has its own keywords. Like, there's a character called Cad Bane, who's a bounty hunter from the Clone Wars television show, who they've obviously made a character here.
Yeah.
He has 4 different Bane tokens that only... There's a whole page in the rulebook about his Bane tokens.
Yeah.
And I was like, are these important? No, they're not important. We don't have a Cad Bane. But, like,
But it's in the rulebook.
But, like,
it's fast.
that's an entire keyword subcategory are the Bane tokens.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if that needed to be there or if it just could say something on his card.
Yeah.
But, so I do think that maybe the keywords have gone a little too far.
Mhm.
Right? Luke Skywalker can jump, which means he can go on top of a building without having to measure it. The Wookiees have scale, which means they can go on top of a building without having to measure it.
Yeah.
The swoop bikes have swoop, which means
Has
they can
speeder,
go,
yeah,
they can go over a building without having to measure.
Yeah.
And there are little granular differences between all these keywords,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
could it have been a keyword? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Could it have been one thing? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all that talked about.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate my time. And there was a non-zero chance that I was going to hate it.
I was worried you were.
Your prediction at the beginning was
My prediction was that Chris was going to play a couple rounds of this and be like, "Okay, can we be done?"
yeah.
Right.
Let's film the video.
And
Now, to be fair, it didn't last the full 5 rounds.
That's because you won.
Yeah, but again, I don't think I was saying the game wants me to like it when I kept on rolling in an insane amount.
Right.
But I could also see that definitely colored my enjoyment a little bit because who doesn't like to win.
Right.
But also if I had been rolling nothing but zeros, I might have been more frustrated. And that also is a very big potential because you experienced it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was such disparity in dice rolls in this game, more than maybe I've ever seen in playing games with you. Maybe in the history of
My
our
whole army activated and I killed 2 guys. I have killed a
13 years of
single
playing
one
games,
of your units.
Yeah.
At the end of 4 rounds, I killed a single one of your stormtrooper units.
Yeah.
And you killed almost my entire army. Right?
No, but half I would say.
1.
I killed Luke Skywalker. I killed your.
I've got 4 units left out of, I think we started with 9.
Oh, you do, eh? Well, you make a good point.
I've got a single unit on this side of the board.
Mm-hmm. No, you have your 2
I've got
Wookiees.
my 2 Wookiees over there.
And then
I have 2 squads over there.
So 5. Yeah. Okay, but I killed half.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think this might be as accessible as Wargames go,
Mm-hmm.
and still it would have been too much for me to get off of the shelf of shame if I didn't have you. But I'm glad that we did, and I enjoyed the experience, and I wouldn't say no to playing it again at another time.
Yeah. Wait, you want to play again another 4 hours right now?
No, I have to get up at 6:30 tomorrow for the simulation game.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Cool.
But well, okay, that was fun, Zach. That was fun to play. That was fun to talk about. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to share before we wrap up? I thought that was a nice discussion.
No, I think that was a nice discussion.
Great.
Yeah, I am. I think pleasantly overall very surprised by this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your opinion means more than mine in this scenario,
Mm-hmm.
and in every scenario.
Aww.
But because especially you know what's up. But I'm very happy that you enjoyed it as well, and that that to me gives it the seal of existing. It's a room and board. You can exist, even though it's so expensive and not for me. But maybe it's for you if you're into this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think if you're thinking of getting into wargaming,
Yeah.
I think you could do a lot worse than trying out this. I think if you're getting into wargaming, it's like an expensive hobby anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think this is a pretty cheap way to get into it and get a good feel or taste for it.
Pretty cheap. Friggin' $120.
Chris,
But I know it is. I know it is cheap.
I think
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I think maybe if you're looking at this as like a longer term purchase, I think I'm more excited about the droids.
It's coming out.
And I'm more excited about the clone troopers.
Yeah.
Right, because they've got a ton of different like Jedi and stuff.
Cool.
Right, so you can play more of the hero with a backup.
Nice.
Right, but I do think that I was pleasantly surprised by all of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thumbs up for me.
There you go. Sweet. Well, that's the end of the video. Go away.
Let me build more models. Let me build more models in my cave.